Hello everyone, welcome to the ITLS Academy. Today's lecture is on the topic Spatial Establishment Inspection. So let's begin with the Fruit and Vegetable Processing Unit. Sanitary and hygienic requirements for fruit and vegetable units to be verified by the inspecting official, and some of the points that should be remained in the mind that the machinery installed in the processing hall should not occupy more than 50% of the total space, so as to permit hygienic production and easy movement of the workers and materials, and all machinery should be installed in such a manner which may allow continuous flow of the production and the design which will permit the easy cleaning. Next point is the tops and tables used for the food preparation shall be made of impervious material, preferably the SS top. The equipments and the factory shall not be used for manufacture of repugnant product like fish, meat, eggs, etc. Because, however, permission may be granted as a special case if arrangements are made for the disinfection of the premises after changing from meat product to the fruit product. Next is your adequate arrangement for cleaning equipments, machineries, containers, tables, and raw materials shall be provided. Copper, brass, or iron equipments, containers, or vessels are not permitted in the preparation, packing, or storage of the fruit products. Only we have to use the aluminum, stainless steel, glass, or tin equipments are allowed. The water used shall be potable and shall be got examined chemically and bacteriologically by the public health laboratory. The water sample should be drawn for such examination by the public health authority of the area where the premises is located, and or should be drawn in the presence of the above authority. Free flowing tap water of up to 1 kiloliter per day shall be made available. The workers shall be provided with the clean aprons and headwears, gloves, etc. Shall be personally neat and tidy. Medical examination of the workers in respect to their fitness and they are not suffering from the contagious and loathsome diseases and suitable to work in the foods factory. And wherever cooking is done on an open air, the proper outlet for smoke, steam, etc., like chimney, exhaust fan, shall be provided, and all extraction fans installed on the premises shall discharge into the open air. That comes into your um, layout design. Next, let's talk about the bakery products and consumer food products. What are the inspections are to be done regarding in these industries? If we talk about the first one, the raw material storage, refrigerator and non-refrigerator. So all raw material should be stored off the floor and away from the walls. They should be free from insect and rodent infestation or adulteration, and it also should be free from contamination from other sources like birds, moistures, molds, etc. The refrigerated items like chocolate, eggs should be stored at proper temperature, and if bulk floor handling and storage is in use, then house coupling inside and outside the plant should be adequately protected from the rodent, clean and in good repairment system. Dust collectors and ventilator bags at top may be arranged properly. First in, first out system should be applied to release the raw materials from the store. Expired material should be discarded and not enter into the manufacturing process. And food colors and additives should be used within the safe limit prescribed in FSS Act 2006. And if we talk about the manufacturing area, then these things about the manufacturing area I have discussed so many times in our previous lectures and our previous slides. So again, let me remind you some. All pieces of food contacts, equipments with dough mixtures, conveyors, rounders and dividers, racks, proofing equipment, oven, roller should be clean and in good repairment, and all the equipments and their surroundings should be free from dirt, dust, and evidence of rodent or insect activity should be maintained. Cleaning ports on floor conveyor should be accessible and easy to open. Cloth connecting sleeves should be clean, tightly fitted, and insect free. Proofing equipment should be free from evidence of insect and rodents, and baking pans or storage bins should be clean. And these are all the points we have to maintain in regards with the maintaining the hygienic condition around us. Inspection, cleaning ports, as I've told you. Tailing box on shifter should be free from evidence of insect activity. Temperature of proofing equipment open and cooling area should be maintained. Equipment should be cleaned before use. If you talk about the packaging and storage of the finished product, then only it is food grade packaging material should be used for wrapping and packaging of the food items, and packaging material should also be kept and stored under hygienic condition in a room intended for that purpose. Next is all the products should be labeled according to the Food Labeling Act. Immediately after packaging and proper labeling, the product should be placed in the room provided for storage under required temperature and humidity condition. Temperature and relative humidity of the storage area should be maintained to optimum required level. The first in first out system should be applied for dispatch of all the products. Food colors and additives, as I've told you, if you have to use, then use it in a safe limits that should be not harmful to the human health. Next comes, let's talk about the milk and milk processing unit. The dairy establishment in which dairy based food is being handled, processed, manufactured, stored, distributed, and ultimately sold by the food business operator and the person handling them should conform to the sanitary and hygienic requirement, food safety measures, and other standards as specified here. That is, he has to maintain the sanitary requirements for the storage, have to maintain the hygienic condition and sanitary requirements for wrapping and packaging. If we talk about the sanitary requirements, then we if let's talk about the dairy establishment shall have the following facilities, such as it should be appropriate there should be appropriate arrangement for protection against the pest are must, and appropriate facilities for cleaning and disinfectant of equipments, instrument, especially cleaning in place system, and an adequate wastewater disposal system which is hygienic and approved by the pollution control board should be maintained. Dairy establishment shall have working area of sufficient size and work to be carried out under adequate hygienic condition, and their design and layout shall be such as preclude contamination of the raw material and the dairy product. In the area where raw materials are handled and dairy products are manufactured, the areas shall have solid and waterproof flooring which is easy to clean. Doors should be made up of non corrosive material, and adequate ventilation wherever necessary must be properly managed there, and there should be practices which could avoid the cross contamination of the dairy products, and instrument you and equipments used shall kept in satisfactory state of cleanliness and repair, and any container or tank used for transporting or storage of raw milk shall be cleaned and disinfectant before we you have to reuse if it again. Next point is the requirement for storage. Okay, immediately after pouring, raw milk shall be placed in a clean place which is suitably equipped so as to prevent any kind of contamination. When the pasteurization process is completed, pasteurized milk shall be cooled immediately to a temperature for 4 degrees Celsius or below. And when dairy product or other than raw milk are stored under cooled condition, their storage temperature shall be registered, and the cooling rate shall be such that the center of the products reach the required temperature as quick as possible. Next point is your requirements for wrapping and packaging. Okay, the wrapping packaging of the dairy products shall take place under satisfactory hygienic condition and in rooms provided for that purpose. And the manufacturers of the dairy product and packaging operation may take place in same room and have to follow the rules such as the room shall be sufficiently large and equipped to ensure the hygienic operation. The wrapping and packaging shall be done brought to the treatment of processing establishment in protecting cover in which they were placed immediately after manufacture. The rooms for storing and packaging materials shall be free from vermin and dust, which could constitute the unacceptable risk for the contamination. And packaging shall be assembled under hygienic condition before being brought into the room, except in case of autonomic assembly or packaging provided with the no risk of contamination of the product. So till now we have to maintain the proper hygienic condition while packaging, bottling or filling of contamination with the containers with the heat treated milk and milk products shall be carried out hygienically. Wrapping and packaging may be reused for dairy products except where the containers are of a type which may be reused. And sealing shall be carried out in the establishment in which the last heat treatment of the drinking milk or liquid milk based product has been carried out. And immediately after filling, by means of sealing device which ensures that the milk is protected from any adverse effect of external means on its characteristics. So these are the points that should be maintained in milk and milk product processing unit. Next is your candy and sweet processing unit. The main problem relate to housekeeping infestation and general hygienic practice involved with both production and storage. Starch is often used to form candy shapes. Other raw materials such as sugar, nuts, flour, milk products, etc., should also be checked for cleanliness and quality. The inspector should check the firms shifting the operation for evidence of the insect, foreign materials, etc. In warm climates, the candy and sweets are particularly attractive to the flies, bees, and other insects. So, the inspector should check whether they are properly protected during the storage and sale. Milk sweet being perishable, he should check the storage condition and freshness of the product, and he should also check whether the reworked candy is added back to the production line and how it is handled, and determine the dressing or releasing agent used on candy cooling slabs. He should ensure that the only food grade colors are used and calculate color level in the final product. Next is your the fats and oil processing units. Okay, the inspector should check the in this unit. The inspector should check the raw materials for adulteration and for contamination with filth, insects, chemicals, contaminants from the unsatisfactory raw materials or from the improper manufacturing operations, and for the substitution by low cost oil of those of higher value. So, inspection for adulteration requires careful observation because the processor involves are normally carrying out such practices willfully to gain illegal profits. The inspector should determine the source of various oils and other ingredients on the premises, check for the unauthorized use of the food additives, verify the labeling, and collect the samples for laboratory examination whenever adulteration is suspected or if you have a doubt of any adulteration. So, if the oil is extracted by the solvent extraction, the type and specification of the solvent should be ascertained, as well as level of residual solvent carried over into the finished product. While many countries have taken steps to prohibit the use of PCBs. A great deal of the old electrical equipment is still in use throughout the world. So processing may involve the the premises in which the product is being handled. Manufacturer shall confirm the sanitary requirements as specified in the edible oil packaging. Food additives quality should comply with the corresponding standards and relevant mentioned in FSS Rule and Regulation 2009. And the varieties and amount in the application of the food additive should comply with the FSS rules and regulations. The possible contamination with the chemical should also be investigated, and physical and chemical indices of all the edible oil includes the vegetable oil should comply with the FSS rules, and the amount of vitamins compound added and the final concentration of the vitamin in the oil should also be checked at regular interval. Next, let's talk about the frozen food establishment. In frozen food establishment, the freezing for the foods preservation utilize low temperature to prevent the multiplication of the microorganism. And for this reason, the quality of the raw material and sanitary condition of the equipments are critical. The material should be handled and prepared as quickly as possible under the best sanitary condition to minimize the number of bacteria present at the time of freezing. The frozen conditions must be adequately maintained during the transportation of the frozen foods. The raw material should be subjected to the field examination at the time of delivery. The inspector should check the 100 pieces of the particular fruit, vegetable, or other arriving at the plant for the preparation before freezing, and he should separate those pieces which are unsatisfactory because of molds and decomposition insects and rodent filth of foreign materials, and report the unsatisfactory pieces as a percentage of the sample taken. He also should examine 100 pieces after all sorting and grading have been completed in order to determine the amount of unsatisfactory material being removed or being allowed to enter the process. Now, this procedure can then be repeated at other times during the inspection to determine the overall quality of the food being prepared. The origin of the raw food being delivered to the plant should be reported. Next is your meat. Next field is your meat and meat product processing. Meat is a we know valuable source of protein, but it is also an important potential source of the disease. And if not properly prepared, then following good hygienic practices, then it may occur in harmful diseases. The examination of the animal before slaughter is carried out or supervised by the qualified veterinarians. Properly trained inspectors can look for questionable conditions that can then be referred to veterinary judgment. For this, the judgment is based on ante-mortem inspection and post-mortem inspection. Ante-mortem inspection for this purpose is designed to determine the fitness of the animal to provide meat suitable for human consumption. An animal should be free from illness, infection, tiredness, etc. reasonably, and they should reasonably be clean. The inspector should check all the evidence of the animal abuse, and the post-mortem inspection and the laboratory control procedures is also carried out, and its purpose is to ensure the detection of the diseases and abnormalities so that only meat fit for the human consumption is passed as such. The inspection should be carried out by veterinarian or by specially trained inspectors under veterinarian supervision. And next is your the laboratory control procedures. In addition to the routine organoleptic examination carried out by the meat inspection services, it is essential that each meat establishment have access to a laboratory for control and diagnostic work. And so for that, some critical points in the inspection meat products are here I'm discussing. that the both quality and hygienic control of the meat and other raw product as they are received in the manufacturing establishment. The inner temperature and pH of the meat should be recorded. Cleanliness, temperature, and other storage conditions should be checked. Control of the manufacturing process all along the line to ensure clean and hygienic handling, proper composition, and conformity to prescribed standards for the mean of preservation. He also have to check to control of packing, packaging, and storage condition, and observance of prescribed holding times, validity periods. Observation is also done of cleanliness and hygienic practices by food handler. Sanitation of the premises, equipment and fitting and their proper functioning is done. Control of transport and other means of distribution is also recorded. Next comes to the food service and distribution, and it includes the market areas, the restaurant, vendors, caterers, and retail stores. Here, if we talk about the first topic as the open air markets, so the guideline presented in here apply in general way to all the open air markets. Temporary food dispensing and cooking operation include the fair concessions, roadside stands, open air type municipal and farmer markets, trucks, trailers, vans, etc. Effort should be directed towards the educating vendors about health hazard associated with the flies, birds, rodent and other worms. Over time, control measures should be introduced to protect food from the flies and other potential contaminants. So, the hawker who sells one or the two commodities should also observe basic hygienic measures to protect the consumer from the environmental contamination and infestation likely to be introduced during hawking. Such activity, which involves a quick turnover of fresh and cooked food, should be conducted on concrete surfaces for easy cleaning, and there should be a source of approved water. Next is your produce market. Each stand or establishment should provide adequate hand washing facilities, including water, soap, and suitable hygienic means of drying hands. Fruits and vegetables on display or their immediate container should not to be in contact with the ground. Unsheltered displays should be high enough above the ground surface to prevent the contamination from any source. Dust and dirt on premises should be controlled to prevent contamination of produce, and insects and other pests should be controlled to prevent contamination of infestation product. Next is your retail shops or retail stores. The inspection of the food stores and market will require the inspector to use his own personal knowledge and experience of what constitutes a wholesome food. Indications of the spoilage are generally bad smells and unusual color and changed consistency. So packaged foods are always suspect when the package shows that it has been mishandled, abused, or is otherwise not intact or not complying the provisions of labeling requirement. The inspector will need to be alert to the problems that may arise in the market or store, such as unsanitary conditions that could contaminate unpackaged food, possibly interruptions of electrical power where refrigeration and freezing equipment must operate continuously to preserve the food, and possibilities of accidents that could comprise the protective seal of the packaging food. Next is your food service establishment. The preparation, handling, and serving food in quantity to large groups of people provide ample opportunity of the spread of the foodborne diseases, either sporadically or in epidemic proportion. So there are certain specific characteristics of public eating and drinking establishment that make them potential focus of the foodborne outbreak or epidemic. That is, the food is prepared in relatively large quantities with many people eating the same dish. A single infection may thus affect many people simultaneously. As now in current days, how a single infection can cause millions to infect is about the coronavirus. Much of the food is prepared, that is coronavirus is not related to the food, but it is an example how it is being spread from one person to the other and to many. So next point is, much of the food is prepared in advance of the normal mealtime rush and may be prepared by temporary and untrained help. Improper storage or display during this waiting hours can provide an opportunity for bacterial contamination and multiplication in the same time. The actual operation of the food serving is concentrated within a few hours, during which the time the utensils and dishes must be rinsed several times. These rush hours tend to encourage poor and unsatisfactory methods of dishwashing and thus creating opportunities for foodborne diseases outbreak. This means that very strict sanitary and safety measures should be adopted in all public eating and drinking places, and that the utmost vigilance should be exerted in controlling them. And it includes the premises where these could happen. It includes your eating house, that is the dhabas, the restaurant, hotels, snack bars, canteen. You should, wherever it is possible, you should allow, you should control over you to avoid these eating in these places. Next, let's talk about the food warehouse. Food warehouse be inspected on a regular basis. Note rodent harborages and burrows outside the buildings and checks the exterior and entrance for access of the pest. Check the area designated for damaged and merchandise as possible contributing source of rodent and insect contamination of nearby foods held for sale. Determine whether the firm rotates product properly and whether lots are properly identified to help with the stock rotation or not. Check where foods are stored directly on the floors or against the wall. Check the adjustment floor areas and accessible wall surfaces. Examine the firm's refrigerators and freezers to ascertain whether they are in proper working orders or not, and whether air is circulating effectively inside the units or not, and check whether the temperature is maintained up to what is it is set or not. So examine products susceptible to direct contamination such as macaroni's product, cereals, nuts, beans, flours, dried fruits, poppy and sesame seeds, etc. to determine whether there is any contamination or not. Thank you for being with us. I hope you have gone through all the inspections, special inspections that has been carried out, and what are the points to be checked out in every industries. For more information, please log on to our website www.itlsacademy.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, and yes, subscribe our channel ITLS Academy at YouTube. Thank you.